Israel is holding its largest and most advanced air exercise ever, joined by 7 countries including India, France, the US, Germany and the UAE. The exercise, named Blue Flag, is underway in Israel's Negev desert. Israel has held the Blue Flag exercises every 2 years since 2013. This year, more than 70 fighter jets, including Mirage 2000s, Rafales and F-16s, and about 1,500 personnel are participating in the drill. The 2-week exercise that will end on the 28th of October marks several firsts. It is the first time that a British fighter squadron has been deployed to Israel since the establishment of the country. Not just that, it's also the first time an Indian Mirage fighter squadron has been deployed to Israel. Another first, a French Rafale fighter squadron deployed to Israel. In a significant first, the chief of the UAE Air Force is visiting Israel for the Air Force exercise. While the UAE's aircraft are not flying in the drill, the visit from the country's Air Force chief is significant. The 2 U.S. allies normalized ties last year. Their public embrace has so far been in the diplomatic and commercial space rather than military spheres. Israel has called the visit a harbinger of cooperation in air power.
I know it's a friendship, and it's the beginning of cooperation around exercise and international exercise. We flew with the UAE fighters in international exercise in Greece. We flew together, and we are looking forward to host the Emirates Air Force here in Israel.
Shared concerns over common foe Iran were widely seen as a factor that spurred the UAE towards Israel. But the chief of the Israeli Air Force operations, Amir Lazar, stressed that the drill does not focus on Iran. Israeli army officials have long maintained that the Islamic Republic remains Israel's top strategic threat, and Iran's nuclear program is also at the center of much of its military planning. Israel is also concerned over a fleet of drones that it claims Tehran is dispatching to its proxies across West Asia, including in Yemen, Syria and Lebanon.
This exercise don't focus on Iran. The scenario don't relevant for what the Israeli Air Force prepared. When you look at Iran as an enemy, but the Israeli Air Force is ready, and we are focusing. It's part of our training, our routine training.
And our correspondent Jody Cohen has been tracking the very latest, getting us this report on Israel's mega air show.
This week's multinational Blue Flag aerial drill exercise is the largest and most advanced to date. The annual event this year involves 1,500 foreign personnel, including a delegation from India, with a detachment of Indian fighter jets taking part for the first time. The training enables allied nations to prepare for different scenarios, synchronize different types of aircraft piloted by various countries, to counter armed drones and other threats. This is Jody Cohen from Jerusalem for WION World is One.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.